Hello everyone and welcome back to another Tommy Top 5. Today we're going to be talking about 5 sleeper cards that you should be keeping an eye out on once we hit the Rise of Shadows expansion. Now, when I say sleeper, I mean cards that have been often overlooked or maybe overshadowed for their current life in Standard, but now with so many sets leaving and so many powerful cards leaving Standard, they might just get their time to shine. You may have seen some of these cards in a couple of decks before, but hopefully you're going to be seeing a lot more of them once the expansion comes. As always, this is my opinion and I do want to hear yours, so let me know in the comment section below what cards you hope will see play with the new Rise of Shadows expansion. Coming in at number 5 is Haunting Visions, a really interesting Shaman spell card. Unfortunately, since the nerf to Shutterwalk, Shaman hasn't been seeing a lot of love in Standard lately, though it still remains quite powerful in Wild. Either way, Haunting Visions has not really been a part of that. Now, the thing that makes Haunting Visions have so much potential power is the fact that when we do hit rotation, we'll only have 4 sets plus the Classic in Standard. And with Discover effects, this means that your pool of cards that you can discover is actually quite small. This means that if there's specific cards that you are hoping to discover, maybe you need a Lightning Storm, or you need a healing effect, or you need to find a Bloodlust, something like that, you're much more likely to be able to find that card when Standard is smaller than when Standard is larger. We saw this with Primordial Glyph during the Ungoro expansion, where due to the small card pool, you're incredibly likely to be able to find a Fireball or a Pyroblast or whatever you needed for that given situation. I think that is reason enough to keep your eyes out for Haunting Visions in the future. Now, in our number 4 slot is a card that I've been championing for quite a while, and it is Waterboy. Waterboy is a really fun 2-drop that, unfortunately, because of the way that the odd and even decks work, never really saw a lot of play. Of course, the even decks, your hero power costs 1, so playing a Waterboy in an even deck, you're not really getting the full value out of the card. But I think with the release of Baku and Gen into the wild environment, and still with a lot of those hero power centric creatures or cards around, I think Waterboy could definitely see some play, especially if you're a mage looking to get some value out of Pyromaniac or looking to get to 8 damage in order to deploy Junalai. I think Waterboy could be very useful in that situation. Also, with Kobolds and Catacombs leaving us, we lose cards like Kobold Librarian, which means if you're a Warlock looking to deploy minions onto the board but also keep your hand fairly well stocked, I think Waterboy could be a fantastic option, even though it does cost twice as much as Kobold Librarian. That brings us to our next card, which is probably something that you've seen before, but maybe not lately, and that is Shrinkray. Another victim of the odd and even dynamic. Unfortunately, when it came to Paladin decks, I think that most people were either doing aggressive odd decks, controlling even decks, or some kind of combo, Shavala, Holy Wrath, something along those lines. And unfortunately, in those situations, Shrinkray is often going against the grain of the deck, or purely by the old 2-mana equality with Wild Pyromancer, with Consecrate, and all these types of effects. However, with equality costing 4 now, only 1 more mana to, instead of getting an equality, getting a Shrinkray, potentially reducing all your opponent's minions attack to 1, really delaying the game. I think if there is a controlling Paladin deck in the new meta, we're definitely going to see some Shrinkrays in there. The second last card on our list is something with a lot of speculative combo potential, and that is the Boom Ship. Lots of people were experimenting with this card very early on in the Boomsday expansion, but unfortunately, compared to a lot of the other things that people were doing with Mechathune and other shenanigans, it was really overshadowed by all of that stuff. However, with a lot of the enablers rotating out of Standard, Boom Ship could be one of the premier combo enablers of this new format. I'm sure there are a lot of people out there already brewing up some sweet Boom Ship combos, but I've definitely been killed in Wild before by some kind of like Boom Ship, Mechathune, Malagos, Inner Rage, Whirlwind stuff before, and who knows, maybe that will be the best deck in the new format. Okay, and in at the number 1 slot, once again, it's another 1-drop, but this time it's Saronite Taskmaster. In the current standard metagame, we are absolutely spoilt for choice for fantastic one-drops. With a lot of those cards and Dire Mole all rotating out, I think there are going to be a lot of decks that are looking for some kind of neutral minion to help shore up their early game. If you're an aggressive deck, to put some pressure on the opponent. If you're a controlling deck, maybe just something to trade with the opposing aggressive minions. I personally think that Saronite Taskmaster will be one of the premier one-drops in Standard for quite a long time. How long will that go on? Who knows? Thank you for joining me for another top 5. It was a pleasure. I'm really enjoying doing these. So if you want to see more and you've got some ideas for some things that I should talk about, some top 5 lists, definitely let me know in the comment section below. Regardless, thanks for checking the video out. Stay safe, stay wavy, eat the rich. Bye-bye. I hope you enjoyed that video. Check out other ones over here, or come subscribe to the Wave Pool for more excellent times.